Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Hungry Bleak podcast. I am Antonio Pomares, and thank you for listening, viewing, however you're taking this in. Thank you. I very much appreciate it. So today is going to be a bit of a reflection. I do have some reviews and some comic book stuff to talk about, but I'm also going to talk to you about um, some stuff that I want to have coming up. Let's call it housekeeping or housekeeping, house cleaning. No, I want to say housekeeping, admin, housekeeping, what have you. At the end. Okay. Some things that, yeah, you'll notice that the title of this episode is Pillars. There's a reason why it's called Pillars. I'll explain at the end. I promise you. It'll be a whole big thing, but you'll get a bit more of my thought process, what's going through my head now, and how I'm looking forward. Okay. So let's go right into it. Let's do some comic book reviews. How's that sound? Sound good? Sound great? Shimmy shake if you like it. You do? Okay, cool, great. So first one we've got up, excuse me, is Kaya. This is from Image Comics. This is story, art, and design by Wes Craig, colors by Jason Wordy, letters and world design. You'll notice a theme in this episode with that one. Uh, this is I really enjoyed this. It's actually called Kaya and the Lizard Riders. I think it was just called Kaya at first, but now it's called Kaya and the Lizard Riders. This young warrior by the name of Kaya is escorting her brother Jin to a safe haven for them because their village has been completely destroyed, and she's taking him to this village so he can find a way to. He's prophesized to be this savior. That's going to save everyone from these marauders, these horrible people, and you find along the way as their journey that they come up against these lizard people, and some of the lizard people, some of the clans are friendly with uh, Kaya and Jin's former village, and some weren't. So now that the village is gone, you'll see that some people will not have that same allegiance to them because they no longer have the backing of their village. I really love this one. It's got this. So at certain times, I feel almost like a Jack Kirby esque feel to the story and to the art in a way. Almost almost can remind me of like uh, Commandy in a way, which is not a bad thing. I'm really liking that. It's this epic journey of them getting to this safe haven and to see what's going to happen in this safe harbor, and along the way, they travel with some of these lizard riders. One is a lizard rider that was very friendly with Kaya and Jin's village, and you find out that there's this unrequited love between them. But you also realize that, well, you also learn that that this young lizard rider is already betrothed to someone. There's an arranged marriage between two villages. So that's going to be a really interesting thing to see how that comes about. It's on issue 5 now. It came out this past week. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my docket to read. A docket. I have a docket for comic books to read. It's incredible. So I'm very excited about that one. It's really good. Like I said, Kaya and the Lizard Riders. It's 5 issues so far, but definitely one to check out. Another one to check out, because this guy's on a huge roll. Rodney Barnes is Monarch. This is also from Image. You'll notice the theme. This is story by Rodney Barnes. This is art is Alex Lins. Excuse me. Color is Louis Nicht. I hope I'm pronouncing the name properly. Uh, Color assist is Mar Silvestri Galato, and lettering is Marshall Dillon. Again, um, Gunsmoke. If you know, you know. This was, geez, I didn't know what to expect with this guy. I didn't know what was going on, but it had. Oh, and also art direction is by Jason Shaw and Alexander. Barnes and Alexander are just one of the best tag teams in the business. Uh, Philadelphia, obviously. So this is, if you liked or loved, I should say, or liked or loved, whichever one. If you watched a movie called Attack the Block and you really enjoyed it, this is one that you need to read. This story is set in South Central where there is an alien attack on the city, and it shows the days leading up to it. And it's these young black children in South Central. and how it affects them, and they're being held and they're holed up in their school while this attack is happening. Seeing you see the lead character is being bullied by this older kid, and he beats the piss out of him. Like, it's unflinching the way this is. It doesn't just give you this, oh, they're going to be frenemies. No, this kid really does beat the piss out of him. And they used to be friends, and he doesn't understand why he doesn't like him now. They're also a part of this foster home. And he's like, I wanted to be loved. I should have been loved. Instead, they loved you. They didn't love me. And you find that that's why he doesn't like him. That's why he has such a hatred to him. And that kind of ate at my heart, because you have not just a story of leading up to this alien attack that you know is going to happen, but you also have the story of this kid also has to worry about, like, the alien attack hasn't happened yet, but he's worrying about just getting home without getting the piss beaten out of him by this kid on a regular basis. So that, like, because in the beginning story you realize that there's going to be alien invasion, but then it shows you a couple days beforehand, and it's just that is what hits you. And it's like, damn, you almost could forget about the alien attack because of the way that everything he already has to deal with. The art is just incredibly beautiful. This it's another hit. It's another hit. At the end of the episode, excuse me, at the end of the issue, we actually see the aliens taking away the lead character, and you're wondering what's going to happen. Which is what I was doing. I'm still wondering what happened. I think the next issue is either coming out this week or the week after that, I believe. This is phenomenal work. I love it. Like I said, if you like Attack the Block, grab this, because we really don't see too much of young black characters or young characters of color dealing with alien invasion, stuff like this. We don't. It's usually young white children who have to fend them off. So I loved seeing that. I loved feeling that, because that just feels more authentic, because I'm young black Afro-Latino. Well, I mean, middle-aged black. I was young and black at one point. Now I'm middle-aged and black Afro-Latino. So, I mean, or Afro-Latinx, I should say. Yeah, so that just feels, it just feels right. Like I said, this is phenomenal. I love it. The story automatically hooked me. Once I see Rodney Barnes is, again, one of those names. I see the name, I automatically point to it. Almost like, okay, cool. I hear the name, my ears perk up, and I want to know what's going on. Yeah, it's just one of those writers. So, and the book just has that feel. The minute I was done with it, I was like, Attack the Block, Boys in the Hood, South Central, um, Menace to Society. I love that feel. I absolutely loved it. It was, like I said, it just the fact of this kid trying to get home on a daily basis without getting his ass beat by this other kid who used to be his friend, who they used to be close, but they're not anymore because of him not feeling like he got. I felt both sides. I felt both kids' pain, and it hurt. I was like, damn, you really, like, once you find out why he has this animosity towards him, you're like, that's not it. But then you go, damn, I feel, yeah, it was great. So that's definitely one to pick up. Monarch. This is from Image Comics. There's only been one issue out so far, but like I said, the next issue is coming out either next week or the week after. I'm excited either way. It's on my digital pull list. I'm grabbing it. The next one, I don't know what the hell happened here, but whoa. Whew. We're talking excuse me. We're talking Static Shadows of Dakota. This is, I guess you can consider this season 2 of Static, um, after the reemergence of Milestone, um, last year, the year before, everything. Wow. This was written by, I'm still in awe about this. This one is written by Nicholas Draper Ivy and Vita Ayala. Art by Nicholas Draper Ivy. Letters by And World Design. Like I said, okay, the first season of Static was phenomenal. Absolutely beautiful. Loved it. Um, Draper Ivy's art is always so amazing and beautiful and nuanced little things, and the detail and the design is always beautiful. Vita Ayala, yeah, Sign me up. Whatever Vita Ayala is putting together, I want you to put it in a cup and I'll drink it just like this. Delicious. For those listening to the podcast, I just took a drink out of my Fire Force mug as I wear my Fire Force t-shirt because I like Fire Force. What Yeah, the first season was phenomenal and I loved it. The reemergence of Milestone and Static was kicking it off. Static is like you could argue there are a couple of different titles. You could argue that any of the titles, truthfully, in essence, could be their flagship because they're so beloved. But Static really emerged and went to a different level. And I am going to totally attribute that to Draper Ivy and Ayala. They're an incredible duo. This season, this Shadows of Dakota story arc, blew away the first season. The writing feels tighter. It feels more direct in a way, and I'm not sure how to actually explain that because the writing in the first season was great. Maybe it's because we've already been introduced to the character, so now we can just go ahead and do more story development. I'm not sure if that's it. And the art, again, the design of it is incredible. Again, detailed and nuanced. I thought that Draper Ivy could not get any better, and he does. And the fact that they're co-writing this, I think, has to do with it as well. Uh, I think I said this before. I'll say it again. Put them in the room for whatever you have going on Milestone, whether it is animated or live action. Their names need to be on more things because they are incredible. They are just the most incredible duo ever. Seriously, that's not hyperbole. That's just stating a simple opinion that should probably be fact. It's just, yeah, and we're getting the debut in in this um in this um series. We're getting the debut of Ebon, which is a character that everyone has been asking about. They were asking about that in the first uh season, so now we're gonna get a character. Yeah, it was just so beautiful. I really truly love it. At the end of reading it, I had to take a minute and pause and go, did they like work out in a hyperbolic chamber, like under like hundreds of pounds of gravity? Because they just blew away what they did in the first season, and the first season was phenomenal. I don't know, but whatever they're doing, yeah, like I said, put them in the rooms wherever something is going on with Milestone live action or animated, anything that's going on with them in that front, on that front, I should say, put Nicholas Draper Ivy and Vida Ayala in those rooms. They are incredible. I absolutely loved what they did. It's amazing, and I'm so excited to see more of it. Like I said, the art was just amazing. The designs, I love the way. Yeah, it's just everything was great. The design of everything was perfect. Layouts, I love the way uh, Draper Ivy designs clothes when he's doing his characters. I absolutely love it. He's one of the people that I wish if someone could draw me, he's one of the people because and there's something he's drawing, something I could probably never get away with wearing, but I think he could make me look cool in whatever he's drawing. It could be like a hefty bag, and he'll make me look like one of the coolest people ever. And that's when I know that, yeah, it's just phenomenal. So definitely on point. Pick up Static, Shadows of Dakota. This second season is great. All right, so for excuse me, flashback Friday pick, I'm gonna go with the Old Guard. Absolutely love this comic. It was also adapted into a live action movie on Netflix. This is written by Greg Rucka. This is art by Leandro Fernandez. Colors by Daniela Miwa. Letters Jody Wynn. Yeah, this is the story of a group of immortals who have found each other throughout the years, and they end up banding together to be this group of I don't know how you can say it, mercenaries for hire, but they do good deeds. Like they'll rescue a village, they'll find a child, they'll stop an attack, anything like that. And It's them finding out that there's another immortal out there, and they kind of they can almost kind of tell when someone is coming, but they're immortal, not eternal. So at a certain point they can die, but they don't know when. Their lives are just immensely long. There are three arcs of this. Two are in modern day. The last is more showing flashbacks of them throughout the years, throughout the centuries of each character going through it. It also has one of the most beautiful love stories between two men ever. I absolutely love that story between them, and it was incredibly done in the movie. But you get it a little more nuanced in the comic. But to hear the lines being said by this character saying you're infants, that's all you can think about with love, I absolutely loved it. So yeah, check this out. Like I said, there are three arcs. Two are in the modern day. One is more the latest arc has been more flashbacks. I don't know when they're going to be coming back because it was a while before they actually did the second season. It was a while. I didn't think we were ever going to get it. So we'll get that eventually because Greg Rooker be doing Greg Rooker stuff. I mean, he's one of the best out there, and I love it. So speaking of love, Wellness Check Friday. Are you okay? How are you doing? Have you drank your water? Did you take your meds? Whether it's for physical, mental, or emotional ailment. You know, I'm not saying it to police you. I'm saying it because I want you to be the best you that you can be. What I'm going to start doing with these is I'm going to start saying something that I'm doing, a routine that I have been practicing to help me. So one of the things I've done is social media. You all know I don't like social media to begin with. Uh, I just don't. But what I've done even more is I don't put any social media apps on my tablet. My tablet is for reading and for shopping. That's it. You know, I don't, like I said, I don't do any social media on there. Facebook app I have taken off of my phone. I have Instagram on there, but I put it to a timer of an hour a day. If I have something that I have to do later that day, like if I have an IG, like if I have to go on IG later that day, say for a lit pick segment for the Zion Network, a variety show, then I'll put a little more time on there. But every day it's an hour. It is an hour. I find that social media stirs up my anxieties. I compare myself to too many people that our journeys are completely different, and it doesn't do me any well. I don't have imposter syndrome. I have imposter pandemic. And, over the last few months, I've realized it. And I'm like, yeah, I can't keep treating myself this way. I can't keep beating myself up, bullying myself in essence like this. And yeah, a lot of the times the pictures or streams or even seeing a comment on there can stir up my anxiety. And it makes me beat myself up. And I feel like I'm not worthy of any type of positive uh, interaction, whether it's someone saying, hey, good job, whether it's someone saying, I love you, whether it's someone, showering me with love, whether it's someone, saying, yo, that was dope. I need to check this out. What have you? It just doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't. So, like I said, an hour a day, I go, I post, and then I leave. I don't scroll. Scrolling is the worst thing that I can do for myself. And with Instagram, you only see the best of what something is happening. People don't show you, damn, lost out, damn this out. You see the best. So I'm looking at somebody and I'm like, damn, and I start going, damn, I should have had that. That should have been me that, and that's not good. That's not good to do to you. And it's not anything negative towards the person who is who's posted this. It's not anything against them. It's I can't see that because it messes me up, and that's something that I'm working through and I'm dealing with it. I also mute people, and it's people who I want to see them like achieve and prosper and everything, but I mute them because I just don't want to put myself in that place again where I'm like, damn, that you know what I mean. If somebody does, if because when you go on, it automatically shows you your feed. I don't want to see my feed. I want to see my notifications, and I want to post. I don't want to see anything else. I just don't, because it hurts, and I got tired of feeling that way. There was a month or so, where I was just like, I was just couldn't. I was done. I was done. I almost stopped doing all of this. I almost stopped um, um, uh, podcasting. I almost stopped streaming. I almost stopped doing everything. I almost just was like, I'm kind of done. I can't. And I started thinking that I need to compare myself to everyone. I'm in a competition with everyone, and I'm the least competitive person possible. So for me to start going, damn, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. I'm not here. I should be there. That should have been me. That thing, I should have it. It just messes me up. So I decided to do that. Again, it's never to the person who is posting. If it's somebody who I don't like posting or what have you, then I just delete them or unfollow them. It's as simple as that, for whatever reasons. And there have been a couple people that I have done that for, but it's just for me and my mental health, and that's important. So that's my little thing that I'm doing for my Wellness Check Friday. Just a little thing. All right. So let's move on to what's on my plate. I'm sorry. I've changed the name of it because it made more sense to say what's on my plate instead of where's my plate. What's on my plate? So this week I am talking about Beijing Bistro Chinese. They used to be called Temple. They're in Red Bank. Absolutely love this place. First place I fell in love with ginger salad dressing, which I was like, yeah, no, it's too gingery. Now I'm like, yeah, I'll totally take the ginger. It's awesome. Place is right on Broad Street. It's located in downtown Red Bank, which is this beautiful area of, let's got like little boutique shops and places to eat. And you're like maybe a block or two from Marine Park. You're actually a block or two from from Riverview Hospital, where I was born, because Red Bank is my hometown. It's where I was born. Almost died there as well. Um, yes, that is very dark humor, folks. If you know, you know. It's cool. Don't worry about it. I'm here, so it's okay. I go in there. I love going in there because it has this really great feel to it. It's like a gourmet slash pub place, like bistro. Yeah, bistro, where there's a bar in there. You have the actual sit down restaurant. I love going in there and going to the bar if I can. One day I went in there and they had just opened, so nobody was there. I went in and sat in like the big dining area, and I was like, "This is awesome. This is great." Yeah, sat there, read some manga while I was eating my General's chicken, which is what I get at every damn a restaurant that I can get it at. And I just love the feel, and the people were very nice. The woman who, I believe she's a co-owner there. Uh, I was sitting there. This is after I just gotten out of the hospital, and I went for a blood test, and I had my catheter was still in my chest. I still had a dialysis catheter in my chest. The port. I still had a dialysis port in my chest, which was a tube. It was literally a tube hanging out of my chest, which with tape over it. Literally, if a strong wind came by, I probably would have tipped over. And I was like, I want something. I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. I finally started getting my appetite back. I know it's funny to think of me without an appetite. Walked in and the woman goes like, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, I just have that face. Meanwhile, I lost like 10, 15, maybe even 20 pounds. Soaking wet. You could see the tube in my neck was kind of sticking out, because there's a tube in your neck, there's a tube in your chest. My neck sticking out, like it looked like a huge vein. It was like a big, thick tube. So my neck. And I just want to eat something because I just want to feel a little normal and be out. I said, no, I know you. She's like, and I was like, oh, yeah, I've been in the area, for a long time. I lived here, what have you. And I said, oh, I used to work at Toys. She's like, that's where I know you from, Toys R Us. You've helped me out with a lot of stuff. And I was like, oh, she's like, yeah, I thought I knew you. I knew your face. And so it was very nice. And I think that was my first or second experience in there. So it just became this place that I love to go to. So if you are in the Red Bank area, you're looking for some great Chinese cuisine and you want to have a bistro experience, go to Beijing Bistro Chinese, formerly known as Temple. It's not called Temple anymore. It's called, I just found that out today. I didn't realize that. Who knew? Apparently somebody else and not myself. So there you go. All right. So yes, go check them out. All right. So let's do the housekeeping, shall we? So pillars. I've been talking a lot about pillars. You can actually kind of blame AEW for a little bit of this. And let me explain. There's a statement I heard once. I think I actually heard it from CM Punk. after the infamous news conference after All Out. The saying goes, or at least what I again I think I heard it from him. He goes, "Your apology should be as loud as your disrespect." The statement's always rung in my head. The other day I was sitting here and I was thinking, I've thinking about intentions a lot lately, and me thinking that just because I'm thinking it doesn't mean you can hear it. As hard as I'm thinking, and as much as my mind is just going, you can't hear it. That's a that's a mistake of mine. Sometimes I don't say the words. I do the actions, but I don't say the words, and that's caused confusion with things. So I started thinking about it, and I was like, your voice should be as loud as your intentions. Seemed to make sense. Somebody will steal that from me, sure. Your voice should be as loud as your intentions. So your intentions, say them. Like, I never understood why somebody was like, so what's your intention towards my daughter? What's your intention towards my son? What's your intention towards my child? You know, what parents will ask that when they bring someone home, a, a potential significant other or significant other that they're just meeting. I never thought about that. And recently, I had, in conversations with someone, I didn't state my intentions. I did the actions, but I didn't state my intentions. Even though I thought my intentions were known. But again, just because I'm thinking it doesn't mean that you know what I'm thinking. You can't read my mind. Okay. So my voice is going to be as loud as my intentions from now on. So the pillars. There are 4 pillars that I want. There are way too many wrestling references in this particular episode. I apologize for any non-wrestling fans, but go check out AEW and you'll see what I mean when I say pillars and CM Punk and when I put up this 4 like this. So 4 pillars. These are the 4 projects that I want to do that are in my heart, in my soul, in my blood, let's say, that are in my mind. 2 of them I have already done. One is the Hungry Bleak podcast, which is what you're watching or listening to right now. The second thing is Off the Shelf. Now, if you know, years ago, it was my thing, but I decided to kind of pull the name out, shine it up, and give it something new where I interview comic book shops, usually owners, about their store, what makes them special, what makes them unique. Put some spotlight on comic book shops because they're important. And I've had that idea for the longest time and I never said it out loud. I said it out loud to someone and they were like, "That's a great idea." I didn't think about it because I thought the person was just being nice, but it turns out they weren't nice. It actually is a thing. Again, that's part of that imposter pandemic I have in my head and my insecurities. And I said it again to someone and they're like, "Yeah, that's a great idea." Then I said it again and they say, "Yeah, that's a great idea." I also didn't want to say it because I felt like someone was going to take the idea from me. And I didn't want that. I wanted this. So, yeah, so that line of um of shows, the Off the Shelf, one a month will be me interviewing comic book shop owners and talking to them about what their recommendations are, what they've got going on in their store, what makes their store special, and saying, "Hey, people, there's a store here. I need you to go to it." I did an episode an interview last Friday, which I will be releasing on March 15th. It is Demetrius from Anyone/Everyone Comics. If you know, I mean, that store is just great. I absolutely love it. I love going there. It's one of my favorite places possible. There are 2 other projects that I want to start. I'm working on the logistics of them right now, but they are on their way. I believe in these pillars, these 4 pillars, because they are what I want to do. Those 4 things are what I want to do. They just feel right to me, and they encapsulate, who I am and what I am as a person, as a geek polymath, as just this guy who loves it, and some of my sense of humor too, hopefully. But I realized that the pillars are there but they needed a foundation, and the foundation was me. I was the foundation. So I have to be better at what I do so I can make these things stronger. Now, if anything else comes up from these, absolutely, I am ready and raring to go. You know, absolutely. Whether it is moderating a panel, whether it's guest starring on a guest hosting, I should say, excuse me, a guest hosting on a podcast like tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live, I believe. I will be on JD Rosario's podcast as a guest host. JD and I go back a ways. We were going to do business at one point, then the pandemic happened. But hopefully we can actually do some business because I'm looking to do some business and I'm looking to do more. My voice is now loud. My intentions are still louder, but my voice is getting there. I will never let someone whose work ethic, whose drive, whose determination, whose foresight, whose being as far as productivity and such are like go, I should say, are less than mine, dictate what I do or dictate how I approach something. I did that and I lost out on many, and I shouldn't say, I lost out on a few things. And there were things that would have been really cool, really awesome. So I'm trying to play catch up with my dreams and my goals. So those other two pillars are coming. They are. And I hope you enjoy each and every last one of them because I'm not the person I was 3 or 4 years ago. And that's okay because we're different people as we go. But these pillars are important to me. And I've made a point of balancing life with my mother's recovery. If you know, you know. These priorities, these pillars. And I also want to have a social life. My perfect example of my life is I have this beautiful, incredible relationship with someone who is also in these spaces, or perhaps not, but most likely will be in these spaces. They may have left the space, they may have come back to a space, whatever. But this person, and they're an incredible creative as well, and myself, excuse me, and we're doing these things that we love, and sometimes we have to go away to do stuff. She may have to go away to do something, but I go with her and I'm able to work remotely, still do my thing remotely while she's doing whatever meeting she's got going on. And me, if I am on location and I'm doing a shoot for a streaming service for one of the episodes of Off the Shelf, fingers crossed, say my name in those rooms, folks, please. And I'm like, hey, I've got to go here for a couple of days. You want to come? Like maybe I'll go a couple of days a month, like I'm gone to go to these places. I'm like, hey, do you want to come? And she comes along with me. She does her stuff remotely. I'm on these shoots. I come back and we have these incredible days of creativity and bouncing ideas off of each other. And iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. And just being there for her and her being there for me and being these two creative people in this incredible, beautiful relationship. I found that I can have time. That I can, I shouldn't say have time, that I can find time to balance everything out. And that's because my mind can focus on these things and make them great. I can have time for my priorities and for my pillars and for paradise as it is. So those are my intentions, folks. That's where my head is at. That's this bit of admin, this bit of housekeeping that I'm doing right now. Every Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a new episode of The Hungry Bleak. One Wednesday a month to begin with. Let's see if you like it, how it goes, what's the feedback. One Wednesday a month, off the shelf. interviews with comic book store owners. The other two pillars. I'm excited for you to see them. I'm excited for you to hear them. I'm excited to do them. This is it. I'm making a run for it. Okay. I'm here and I am not going anywhere anytime soon. So on that note, folks, look, this has been the Hungry Bleak podcast. I am your host, Antonio Pomares. You can always check me out on the Hungry Bleak podcast IG page. I made a new IG page just for the show. I don't go on my personal page anymore right now anyway, not for a while, just because no, well, I already talked about social media. So please go like, subscribe, share these episodes and the audio podcast. Say my name in those rooms, because support me like I support you. All right. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy the rest of it. Please be safe. And remember, do the best you can with what you got, because in the end, that's all that you get, folks. Make those paths converge. And as always, on the way out, shoulder shake. Yay, yay.